Welcome to the Nasdaq Market Site. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me on set, we have John Jacobs. He is a Nasdaq veteran and also he's with the Center for Financial Markets and Policy with Georgetown University. Great to have you back with us. And not only, you are one of the creators of the Qs.
Absolutely.
So big anniversary here, 20th for Invesco. What was the inspiration behind creating the Qs?
So the Qs actually started as part of a branding exercise. So in 1997, I was put in charge of strategic planning at Nasdaq. And one of the things we were struggling with was our brand reputation among retail investors. And we realized, because we were battling the New York Stock Exchange for listings, and one of the things we realized was we didn't touch them directly. Retail investors were the shareholders of Nasdaq companies, and retail investors were the customers of the market participants, but we didn't touch them directly. So we thought about, maybe we should develop a Nasdaq branded financial product that we could interact with them directly, let them participate in Nasdaq, the index. So we looked around, we saw this fairly new product called the Spider. No one called them ETFs back then. And then in 1998, I started working on developing the Nasdaq Spider, or what became QQQ.
All right, well, and what's so amazing is it's the second largest traded ETF in the US today. What does that success with the Qs tell you about the Nasdaq 100 index?
I think it's exactly because of the Nasdaq 100 index. We put together a great group of companies listed on Nasdaq, and to put the Nasdaq 100 to be the largest 100 non-financial stocks, these stocks have represented, since the inception of the index, the forward-looking, the future, the growth. And it's not just technology, right? There's companies in there like Starbucks and others, et cetera. What it represents is large cap growth companies. And there's always a great technology component or a biotech component. But I think if you look at it, it's the companies driving society and the economy forward. And I think that's what makes the Nasdaq 100 so relevant every single day.
I mean, some of these companies are synonymous with our daily lives. When we search something, we Google it.
Absolutely.
Everyone, revolves their lives around what's happening with Amazon, with Apple. And it's very representative of the US and global economy for those reasons. But not only was it influential in terms of trading and how we look at these companies, the ETF industry, it revolutionized it.
Absolutely. I think one thing that the Qs really deserves the credit for is putting ETFs on the map for retail investors, exactly what our goal was. So the Spider was the original one, and some new products had come out, but they were mostly institutional. There was not retail adoption. So launching the Qs in March 10th of 1999, right when the tech market was taking off and all these names were becoming household names, was great timing on our part. It was just luck, but it was great timing in that retail investors just jumped to the Qs like they did no other product. So I think one of the other lasting legacies of the Qs is that it opened the door to retail investors for ETFs.
Right, and big transformation over the past 20 years has been index and passive investing as well.
Absolutely. Caught the perfect trend, the move from active to passive, and the growth of the retail investor. And it's been, I think we've been in a perfect place to do that. And just look at where the business continues to go. Nasdaq has, literally hundreds of ETFs on their indexes and thousands of index products. So.
All right, next 20 years.
Yes.
Expect to see more growth?
Absolutely. We're still early innings. There's still a lot of channels that haven't been touched, whether it's IRAs and SMAs and other kinds of accounts. Plus, the U.S. is the leading market. We're not fully developed, and there's Europe and LATAM and Asia and all sorts of other things. So I do think we're still early on, and I think you'll see a lot more happen in the next 20 years.
All right, John. Thank you, as always, for joining me. And thank you for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.